Hello and welcome to Rand class. Today I want to talk a bit about something that is very uncomfortable to talk about with other people, or that some people just simply won't talk about. And it's something that you need to talk to your parents about. But often they find it very awkward and send you to school to get taught about it instead. So what we're going to talk about today is our bodies and sex and puberty and stuff like that. So you can call this a form of sexual education. And it's very important to have it. And it's very important to have a good one because there's so much to know about your body and puberty and the opposite gender's body that you need to know in order to become a good partner, in order to get ahead in life and not getting riddled with sexual transmitted diseases and stuff. So, in this podcast, I will try to talk about girls and boys, the difference in bodies, a bit about sex, and then I hope that you can use this either as a teacher, a parent, or kid to listen to and get some ideas or some info that can help you in your own life. So, welcome to Sex Ed. Well, I'm gonna start a bit about the boy's body. Since I'm a boy, that's my choice to start with boys. So, a boy's body will begin to enter puberty around the age of 12 to 13. It's a bit after the girls, but that's just nature of it. And what will happen is you'll begin to grow in a faster rate than normal, so you'll become taller. Your voice will begin to change. It will become a bit deeper, and it will begin to crackle at times when you have to, most of the time when you have to do important stuff, actually, like doing a presentation, and that's just normal. Your voice will go up and down in pitches, so that's normal. Then you will begin to get hair all around your body, from the face to the body to chest to the private area, and that's also natural, and it happens differently for every people. So you can't judge your own body by looking at the people around you because they might have hit puberty before you or after you. Then your penis and your balls will begin to evolve as well, both becoming bigger. Your balls will begin to be able to produce sperm, so you can actually begin to produce babies. And your penis will grow, and it's different how big everything gets. It's about the genes. It's about the genes in your family and in your body. So there's no definite answer to how big it will become. But often your balls will become different sizes. One of them will hang a little lower than the other, and that's normal. That's completely normal. And a penis can also look very different. Some of them have a lot of foreskin, some doesn't. Some twist a bit to the side, some point a bit more upward or downward. It is just normal. They're all different, but that's how it works. And that's actually more or less the thing about boys. It doesn't really affect us much, and except that when you get in puberty, your penis will begin to get erect a lot, and it happens at different times a day, and it doesn't always comply with what you are doing. So you can get a random erection just by sitting in class and doing math. And that just doesn't mean that you are into whatever what teacher you have, or you sit there being like, oh, I just got a hard on. That does that mean that I'm into boys or something? No, it's just something that the body does. But your sexuality, you have to find out yourself. There's no right way or wrong way. Everyone have a different sexuality, and that's okay. Now, over to the girls. The girls are a bit more, there's a bit more happening because a girl will begin in puberty around the age of 10 to 11, and they will begin to grow breasts. They will begin to have a period. The vagina area will begin to change, and the hips and all that will begin to change as well. So when a girls enter puberty, they will also begin to grow in height, and they will begin to form breasts. The breasts at start will be small and hard, and not very pleasant to push on. They'll be very sensitive, and that will change, and then they can become hard again. Boys can actually also get small lumps of hardness in their breast, but that will vanish as well. But after time, when a woman grows up, the breast will become larger. Some will have small breasts, some will have big breasts. But the thing is, almost always is asymmetric. They don't hang the same way, and they're not always evenly big. So that's also normal. Then then we have the ass and um, hips that will begin to grow as well because they have to move into place and become bigger. So a girl better can push out a baby because that is the function of this evolution is you become ready to begin to produce babies. You should not begin to produce babies at that age though. You really have to wait until you're ready. But then a girl's vagina would change because her lips will begin to grow down there. There's two set of lips, the inner lips and the outer lips, and they will grow. And sometimes the inner lips will grow out, so they are outside the outer lips, and sometimes they won't. That is completely different. That is down to genes as well. And it doesn't matter how you look down there. That is how it looks. It doesn't make you a worse girl. It doesn't make you a worse person depending on how it looks down there. It's just looks. There's nothing more to it. Then then they will begin to have their period. Um, the first periods you get is often just white fluid because it takes some time before the eggs begin to wander down and begin to get flushed out because that's what a period does. It takes an egg that's unused and flushes it out of the body, and it takes some days for that to happen, and that's when you have your period. A period will not be even timed at first. It takes some years for the body to enter a rhythm, a certain rhythm. And rhythm is between 23 and 25 days between every time your period stopped to the next one will begin. And it's normal for that period. And it's also normal to have pains when you have your period because the body is using some muscles that cramping it together so it can flush out the egg and with it all the blood that comes with it. So that's normal. So you can have the first days are often the worst, where you have a lot of pain down there. But there's various tips. Someone use hot stuff on the stomach, like you take some hot water and put on it, or you heat it up. But that's okay. That's normal. Now the next thing is you will begin to become ready to make babies, as I said before, because that is what you do. But don't begin to make babies when you hit puberty. It's way too early. Always, always, always use protection. And when you are having sex the first time, there's this myth that when you have sex the first time, you have to bleed. And that's not always the case because people think of the Heinemann there is in there to be like a seal that will be popped when you have sex the first time. And if that was the case, you couldn't have your period. So it's just a myth. Instead, the Heinemann is around the entrance into the vagina. So when it gets forced open a lot, like a penis is big when it comes in, that will break the Heinemann and that can lead to bleeding. Not always, but it can, and it will hurt the first time because of that muscle being broken. And it's important to know that if you don't bleed after the first time, that's okay. You could have accidentally popped the hymen, when you used a tampon, when you were uh, have going on a bicycle ride. It's not that important for the first time, because the first time you actually have sex, what is most important is that you are ready, both of you. That both of you have agreed on having sex the first time. That both of you have used the time to find a condom that fits, that doesn't fall off when you have sex. That's something a boy needs to do. A boy needs to buy different sized condoms and try them on one time and masturbate with them. Because when you masturbate, you will see the up and down effect as if you're having sex. That means if it falls off, if it riles up, it doesn't fit. It has to stay in place even when masturbating, because basically what you're doing when you're having sex is masturbating inside a girl's vagina. And if the condom falls off, you have a chance of becoming parents. And that's not good if you're doing this at the age of 16. So that is very important. The next thing is always, always, always use a condom, because you don't know if you have STDs. Some of them lie dormant in your body. So only take off the condom if you have been with your partner, the same partner, and only that partner for many, many times. Because otherwise, you might end up spreading some disease that you don't actually see, but it is there. And it is super important to use condoms. You can use pills as well. That's okay, but use a condom. That's just a super advice from me to you. And then, as I said before, when you are having sex the first time, much of the preparation up to the first time is actually foreplay. Foreplay is a very important thing because it makes you relax. It makes you more wet down there. It makes you more in feeling of it. That means when you actually have to go to the penetration point where you have to penetrate the woman, she will be more ready. She will be more relaxed, which means it won't hurt as much when you penetrate the first time. And she will be more wet, which also that also helps. So take your time with foreplay, and then remember that the average time of having sex after penetration is 4 to 5 minutes. That means that that's the average time. So there's no need to go like I have to do this for 2 hours like in the porn movies, because that's not how you could do it. You will probably last about 5 minutes and that's it. And that is just the nature of things. Someone lasts less, someone lasts more, and it can vary from time to time you have sex. Because if you are very nervous, you can come before, and if you are very chilled, it could take a bit longer. So it's not always the same time as well. And then the next thing to remember is make sure that both of you had a pleasant time. Make sure both of you had an orgasm, and talk about it afterwards. Was this good? Was it okay? Because that's the way you learn. That's the way you learn your body. That's the way you learn your partner's body, is to touch it, feel it, and talk about it. So my advice would actually be to wait with sex until you are at least 17, because then your body have had the chance of actually becoming more of the body you will have as an adult, and more a body that is ready to have sex, because you can not just force it. If you force the first time will always be remembered by the girl and the boy. And if you force it and make it a bad experience, it will taint the rest of the experience they have the rest of their life. So be ready, listen to each other, make sure that you are okay, both of you, with what's happening. And if one of you, like in the middle of the foreplay, goes like, I can't do it anyways, then you have to stop. You have to give that person time. And then maybe an hour later, after sitting there talking or something, go, are we gonna do it today, or should we just pack it away? And because it's so important, as I said before, the more relaxed you are, the better the experience will be, because then it won't be forced. So I hope that some of you found some information here you can use. Oh yeah, I forgot something. Uh, Penis size. Don't be sad if you don't have a big penis. Girls often won't be with a boy with a big penis because the inside, the part where you stick your penis in, it grows to about 8 to 12 centimeters in length. That's it. So if you have a giant penis, let's say it's 30 centimeters, a lot of ladies won't be with you because it hurts, because your penis is jabbing them places where it hurts, and that's not good. So don't be sad about your penis size. Penis sizes varies, and girls varies as well. Doesn't make you a bad person if your penis isn't that big as you think you want it to be. You can still use it, you can still have fun with it, and you'll still find girls who want to be with you. That is not a problem. So please don't be sad if you have a small penis compared to what you think you wanted to have. It's the same with girls who want to be like, I want to have big breasts and to only get a B cup. Don't be sad. That is just your body's way of stopping. Also, a note about breasts. When you get pregnant and you have to breastfeed, not everyone can breastfeed, just so you know it. That's some can breastfeed all the period, some can't. That is just a thing. So don't be sad about that when you come to that part. But if I have to break this down, it is stay safe, use a condom, make sure both of you are ready, use the time to foreplay because foreplay is important and it will always be important. So start out smart, start out with foreplay and then go to sex. And then make sure both of you had a pleasant experience. This has been Rant Class, and I hope you have a pleasant day.